whatever you were about to
No,
say.
I was I was at breakfast with a couple friends recently over in Fort Worth, and as I was sitting there talking to them, they also went to some theater program in the Midwest. I think it was in Missouri, and they were talking about how they they regretted their education, and they regretted their a lot of musical theater people especially hate their college education because which is super sad. And the more I talked to these people, every time I say the same thing, which is like, I'm really sorry about your experience, but I really loved mine, and I think I got a lot from it.
I'm sorry you had a shitty one. Mine was great. Let's talk about me, guys.
No. And
about
I mean, the
me.
reason that is because I told them it's two things. First of all, I knew exactly what I wanted when I was going to college, and I feel like I got that. But the other big thing is that there were a few, not a lot, but a few professors that were really trustworthy. And I just remembered Bernard, that he's really one that stands out, you know, that, they were talking about how, this guy made them watch,
Cats.
5 different versions of Hamlet. And I'm like, okay, interesting. Like we kind of did a similar thing with Michael.
With our senior year where we watched, I think it was only 4, but like 4 different versions of Macbeth, correct?
And and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then how they ended up using it was like in some sort of like improv where you had to like use the different people's interpretations of Hamlet to like almost like mimicking them for like an improv game. And I was like, I was just kind of confused. And they were like, it was the dumbest thing, and it was super sad.
Oh,
but yeah. And then I told them I was like, well, Bernard was the type of guy that would make you watch a couple different people play Hitler, and we would talk about who judged Hitler the most. Because it's...
Did you do that in your class?
Yeah. But like, that's just Bernard, you know? Yeah. That's just the type of guy that he was. That was, because that's a really, really interesting acting conversation.
Hold on. And also kind of like, yes, 100% yes. And funnily enough, how that ties into this film was that whenever I think of like actors on screen playing Hitler, I think of, and I'm sure most people do too, Bruno Ganz. And Bruno Ganz was known for, hopefully I'm not wrong, please God, but he was Jewish. He passed away, I think, fairly recently.
Yes,
hated Hitler. Obviously, why wouldn't he? You know, but he was that quintessential performer of Hitler, and you know, and it's beautiful because, to me, it's that final middle finger to him of the man portraying you is the man that like hates you the most, you know, and it's the man that you hate the most, you know, it's the kind of man. And then how that plays into this film is that
he was Hitler in Downfall in 2004.
Thank you.
He died in 2019.
Thank you. The man who plays Strasser in this film, and his name escapes me, was also Jewish, and he specifically carved his own lane of doing villains, these suave villains, and he hated them so much. Because he was from Germany as well, you know, and a lot of the Nazi actors in this movie are actually, excuse me, I'm so sorry, I hit your computer like a rude imbecile, were actually Jewish people who fled from Germany.
Yeah.
Which I think is just, I mean, it's beautiful in terms of just like that middle finger, but it's also
right. It's
poetic in a way. I'm not sure how to encapsulate it.
It's also one thing for Bruno to do it in Downfall in 2004.
Yeah. And then Veidt to do it in 1943 while the war is going
while
on.
Hitler is still alive.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. And while there are still lots of Nazis in the world winning a war, that's, I mean...
But I think it also goes to show, like for those people in particular, how important doing that movie was to them because, I mean, if it didn't beat you over the head, like, and I don't even mean this as an indictment, it's super duper, of course, anti-Nazi. And so, like, I think, like, but
how
like,
dare they be anti-Nazi?
The thing is, it's just like how you execute that well is going back to that Bernard conversation. You can't judge. When you are in those shoes portraying that character. You cannot judge.
You're right.
Because then the entire sort of product suffers, and it doesn't have people walk away with the feeling or the emotion or the idea or the theme that you need them to walk away with.
Yeah.
You know, so it was super important to have Strasser in this movie to be a super duper uptight asshole and have sort of everyone by the chokehold, you know, but not super duper aggressive or anything, just somebody who knew he had the power in the room, so he felt like an actual fucking threat throughout the entirety of the film. It's someone who was just leering over Rick's shoulder for the entirety of it. There's this very loud noise that's happening.
Is that a helicopter?
I think it is. It's
Are we being abducted?